Speaking Part 5, Comparing and Persuading, Tips and Strategies. Question notes. Question complexity. This question is more for CLB 4 to 6. The topics are usually common topics, and the options are usually common to compare. The vocabulary required can be general. Higher levels should use more complex expression. Comparative language important. Using more, less, greater, and better. Adjectives: nice, nicer, stronger, convenient, durable, greater, easier, effective, and more. Comparatives: adding er to adjectives, more or less to longer ones. Organize and use all your time. Important to follow order and try to speak for the full minute. Avoid repetition. Follow sequence of ideas. The more you speak, the better. Reading the question and preparing. Understand the topic. What is the main topic you need to speak about? Focus on the first sentence. The next ones only explain the process of the question. Make a quick selection. It really isn't important which selection you choose. More important to know your choice clearly. So choose one of the two options immediately. When the second choice comes, compare each point. Why is your choice better? You can take notes. You will be given a notepad. Write some points about why your choice is better. Use words, not full sentences. You can write notes in your language. The notes will not be graded. Put yourself in the situation. Imagining the context visually and putting yourself in the situation can improve your understanding. What would you choose and say? So here we are in speaking task 5, comparing and persuading. And it does tell you in the beginning that it's a 3-part task. First, you choose the option, then you have some preparation time, and then the speaking time. So let's go ahead and look at the first part. So according to our guide, there's a lot of information here, but actually, the only important part is the first sentence. You see right here, where it says the children's club you volunteer at is planning a field trip for the children aged 8 to 10, and you must help choose where they will go. That's because the rest of the question just tells you, oh, you need to choose one of these options, and the computer will choose another. And we look at the bottom, and it does give us preparation time, and our preparation time is 1 minute. So we just need to know what the topic is, okay? And we should choose one or the other. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just going to say this one here. And then it'll tell you that another parent in this case is suggesting another activity, and you need to persuade that person that your choice is better than their choice. So, again, um, very important that we shouldn't really waste time trying to read this part here, where it always says you find two suitable options using the pictures and information below. It always says that. So we should just focus on the first part of the question to understand the topic clearly. The children's club you volunteer at is planning a field trip. It'll give you what the choice will be about. This is about a field trip for the children aged 8 to 10. Okay? So you need to choose an option for the field trip for children 8 to 10. And it'd be good to just kind of look at the two options for children's 8 to 10. Well, either one is good. Probably, I'll say the children's farm in this case. $10, feed the chickens. Okay. Now, the second part, we don't want to get confused, everyone. It says clearly here, your choice. Okay? And then it'll clearly say here, the other parent's choice. So you need to say why your choice is better than the other parent's choice. Many students, especially lower level students, get confused with this question. But here we have the preparation time, and in this case, you should be looking at the differences: $10 per person, use the most powerful paintball gun, feed the chickens, boys and girls welcome, watch the cows being milked, age restrictions apply. Should be looking at those comparisons. So when it's time to speak, you should try to compare those two.
Start speaking now.
So then the recorder will tell you to start speaking, okay? All right. Organizing your response. Introduce the question. You can use if I had to persuade to choose the over the I'd make some convincing points. Or, hello, I think my choice is better for some reasons. Connect in sequence. Firstly, I'd say that my choice is better because, and compared to the other side, while the other one is. Secondly, I'd say that my choice is, whereas the other one is. Last but not least, I'd say that, but the other one is. It's always better to compare your choice to the other choice. So, when we speak, we should try to use a guide or we should try to use sequence. It's very important to organize our answer. And we can start in two ways. We can either say, if I had to persuade the parent to choose the children's farm over the paintball, I'd make some convincing points. That's one way to start, or we can speak to the parent directly. Hello. Let's say the other parent can be a man or a woman. Let's just say Nancy. Hello, Nancy. I think my choice, I think that the children's farm is better than the paintball for some reasons. So you see there, I'm talking directly to Nancy. Now, we want to connect in sequence, it says here. So, a good way would be to compare one by one or compare something about this one compared to this one. So, for example, I could say, firstly, I think the children's farm is better because in here it's for children's of all ages, while the paintball has age restrictions. So, some children may not be allowed to go. So, you see, so here it's for all ages, while the paintball has age restrictions. Now, here, feed the chickens, okay? So let's see, I would say, secondly, I'd say that the children's farm is better because here the children can feed the chickens and they'll be happy. Whereas in the paintball, they have to use the most powerful paintball gun, and that can be very dangerous. You see, again, I compared from here to there. And we can give another idea. Of course, we want to try to speak for the whole 1 minute. So I just gave you some simple ideas there, but you need to try to keep speaking, comparing why this choice is better. And this is just something that can help you here. Factors which influence your score. Ideas and vocabulary. The ideas and level of vocabulary determine your score. CLB 4 to 6, simple and basic ideas and vocabulary. CLB 7 or higher, the more complex the idea and stronger vocabulary, the higher the level. Fluency and rate of speech. The rate of speech is important. Try to keep speaking continuously, but not so fast. If you get stuck, move to another idea or point. Clarity. You need to speak clearly to avoid pronunciation errors. Emphasize important points clearly. Sentence construction and grammar. Complete sentences and no simple grammar errors. CLB 4 to 6 have many simple grammar errors, especially in simple present, past, and future tenses, pronouns, plural singular, and prepositions. For levels CLB 7 or higher, the important part is using higher level grammar. For example, perfect tenses, passive, modalities, and conditionals. Provide a complete response. Answer the question completely. Respond all parts of the question. How many ideas you provide increases your score. The more examples and explanation increases your score. Provide a conclusion. That is the end of Speaking Part 5, Comparing and Persuading Tips and Strategies.